In 1984, Ginger Lynn was the most recognizable face in adult entertainment. Her image was everywhere: magazine covers, video store posters, mainstream interviews. She wasn't just popular, she was unavoidable. At a time when the adult industry operated quietly in the shadows, Ginger Lynn crossed into the public spotlight. Talk shows discussed her, newspapers profiled her, Hollywood noticed her, and then, almost overnight, she vanished. Not because audiences stopped watching, not because demand faded, but because she made a decision that would cost her everything she'd built. Ginger Lynn Allen was born in Rockford, Illinois in 1962. Her early life was ordinary, even wholesome small-town upbringing. High school cheerleader, part-time jobs, familiar routines. But those who knew her remembered someone restless, someone who wanted more than what her hometown could offer. At 19, she moved to Los Angeles, not chasing fame, but chasing work. Modeling came first, then adult magazines. It was supposed to be temporary, a stepping stone. In 1983, she was asked to appear in her first adult film. The production was forgettable, low budget, nothing special except for her. The camera loved her. Within months, directors and producers all wanted the same thing: Ginger Lynn. By 1984, she was the industry's biggest star. She filmed constantly, sometimes multiple times a week. Fan mail poured in by the thousands. Her name alone guaranteed sales. But what made her different wasn't just popularity, it was visibility. Ginger Lynn became one of the first adult performers to enter mainstream awareness. She gave serious interviews. She appeared on television. She spoke openly, confidently, without shame. For a moment, it looked like she might do what no one before her had done: transition from adult films into legitimate Hollywood success. But fame in a taboo industry comes with consequences. In the mid-'80s, the adult film business existed in a legal gray zone. While production in California was tolerated, federal obscenity laws still made it illegal to distribute adult material across state lines. The industry survived on silence and cooperation. As long as no one attracted too much attention, authorities looked the other way. Ginger Lynn attracted attention. Her fame made her visible, and visibility made her a target. In 1985, federal agents began investigating adult film distributors and performers. They weren't focused on street crime or morality. They wanted examples. They wanted leverage. Ginger Lynn was charged with conspiracy to distribute obscene material across state lines, a charge that carried the possibility of federal prison. Prosecutors offered her a deal: testify against producers and distributors, give them names, help build their case, and she would walk free. Refuse, and she would face years behind bars. The industry that had celebrated her turned silent. Producers stopped calling. Agents disappeared. Promised mainstream opportunities vanished. Ginger Lynn was 23 years old, isolated, and facing the full weight of the federal government alone. Everyone advised her to cooperate. Lawyers, peers, even friends told her this was how the system worked. Stars folded. That was the rule. But Ginger Lynn refused. In April 1986, she stood in federal court and declined to testify. She would not give up names. She would not become an informant. When warned of additional charges, she didn't back down. She chose to fight. The decision shocked prosecutors and rattled the industry. Headlines spread quickly. Behind the scenes, the government's case began to unravel. Without her cooperation, their strategy collapsed. Other performers stopped testifying. The leverage disappeared. Months later, the case ended quietly. Ginger Lynn accepted a revised plea deal. No prison, no probation, only a fine, and an agreement to step away from the industry for 1 year. She walked out of the courthouse free. But the cost was enormous. Her momentum was gone. Her crossover moment had passed. And when she tried to build a mainstream acting career, Hollywood shut its doors. She returned to adult films later, but on her own terms, with control, distance, and boundaries. She was no longer the same person who had entered the industry wide-eyed and ambitious. Ginger Lynn never expressed regret. Years later, when asked if refusing to cooperate was worth it, her answer never changed. She said she couldn't live with herself if she'd betrayed others to save herself. In 2010, she was inducted into the AVN Hall of Fame, not just for her work, but for what she represented: a performer who stood her ground. A woman who proved that even in an industry built on exploitation, power can exist and dignity can be defended. Ginger Lynn didn't disappear because she failed. She disappeared because she chose integrity over safety, principle over survival. And sometimes, stepping out of the spotlight isn't defeat. Sometimes, it's the most powerful decision of all. If you love untold stories from cinema's golden age, the ones that challenge what we think we know about fame, power, and survival, I make new videos every week diving into the lives and films history forgot. Click that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. I've got a video coming soon about another 1980s icon who changed everything and then vanished from the spotlight. You'll want to see it.